Facebook Live and handling aggression with play. And my name's Michelle Kenny Carlson, and I'm a certified parent instructor and counselor. And you can find more about me at peaceandparentingla.com. I have 2 girls, 9 and 12, and I want to introduce you to my lovely friend, Kirsten.
Hi. Thank you, Michelle. I'm so glad to be doing this with you. I'm Kirsten Nodelson, and I am calling in from Austin, Texas. I have 2 boys who are 12 and 18, and you can find out about me at handinhandworkshops.com.
Great. So we're going to talk about aggression today. And maybe, Kirsten, you want to give us a couple of different scenarios of how aggression, actually, I'll start. Let me talk about how aggression shows up maybe in your sibling relationships. Sometimes our kids can be aggressive towards one another when they are off track and when they are disconnected and when they're not doing well. And so all of a sudden I'll see one of my daughters maybe push or kick or hit her sister. And we're going to explore ways in which we can combat that sort of aggression without using punishments.
Mm-hmm.
And some other ways where aggression comes out in our everyday life.
Sibling thing going on, but also just, you're at a public place, you're at a public event, the playground. I just think about how many incidences of all the children wanting to be on the slide at the same time, or everybody wanting the one parent's attention, or, and just it bubbles to the surface and somebody is going to get hit or kicked or sand thrown at them. And so many parents are like, how do I deal with this? So I'm so glad we're tackling this project.
Yeah, me too. So when we tackle these off-track behaviors, there's 2 different ways in which kids and actually people in general can have an emotional release. And we all know that when we cry and when we have a tantrum ourselves, it feels much better afterwards. We feel really cleansed, and kids feel the same way. When they cry and they tantrum and they're allowed to have their feelings, they kind of unclog that psyche that's kind of stuffed full of things that don't need to be there. Mm-hmm. The other way in which they can unclog some of that bad stuff that's inside of them is by playing and by laughter. And laughter can be just as cleansing as crying can. And it's an interesting dichotomy, but it's a great tool to use the laughter to kind of bring calmness back to your household.
Oh, yeah. We forget that laughter is so valuable in breaking up the tension.
Yeah. And just a little bit of brain science. We're not going to go too far into it, but when a kid is off track and they're using aggression, usually it's because their prefrontal cortex is no longer engaged and they're fully, working off of their limbic system and their emotional core. And our idea with the play is to kind of bring that prefrontal cortex back online so that they can use their good thinking and make good choices and, be the calm person that they want to be, because no kid wants to be off track.
Yes. And impulse control exists in that prefrontal cortex, which they need to have in order to not hit.
Yeah.
Impulse control. So yeah, great point, Michelle.
And when the thing about us parents is that when we see our kids having these big feelings and being aggressive either toward us or toward a sibling or toward a friend, it becomes very unhinging. I know myself that I go into this place internally where I'm like, oh my goodness, I have to do something about this. They cannot be aggressive toward me or toward anyone else. And I have this kind of emotional emergency in myself. But when I can use my prefrontal cortex and not get crazy, I can come with calm and I can come with love and I can come with play sometimes. And it's been very helpful for me to kind of make that, transition from using punishment and reprimand to use play as a way to combat aggression.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. Laughter, play. How can we get at it? So do you have more you wanted to say? Do you want me to jump in?
No, you're good. I just wanted just one other thing that, I think in our society, we tend to use punishment as a way of, trying to curb aggressive behaviors. And I'm not sure that always works. And I've seen it in my own household, and I've seen it with clients where it's like you want it to stop, so you use punishment because you want it to continue. And when we do that, it might stop in the interim. It might stop the behavior, but long term, the behavior seems to come back over and over and over again.
It's still there.
So, yeah, it's still there. And so when we can use play, it kind of loosens that up to where it's not so tight and knotted.
Mm-hmm. And we were talking yesterday, you were talking about how so many of us have been told, or we see aggression as being disrespectful or mean or bad. And yet really what they're letting us know is they're hurt, they're upset, they're scared. And so we want to address that need, that's why connection instead of punishment is so much more valuable, right? It's like, then we're not having that situation that you described where maybe you stopped it in one moment because you yelled or threatened some punishment.
Right.
But it's just going to pop up. It's like whack-a-mole. It keeps popping up somewhere else. And
then your punishments become more escalated and more escalated. Then you find yourself in a place like, okay, now what am I going to do next?
Right. Including, I'm as a parent, I'm angrier and angrier. And as I get angrier and angrier, my child gets more and more disconnected. Yeah.
So we're going to give you a few little tools, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Fine. You want to start?
Yeah, I thought I would start just right off the bat with, the big issue that looms in front of so many parents' face, which is gunplay. And so many parents see this as like the ultimate aggression. Like it feels really scary to a lot of parents. And understandably, especially what's happening right here and now. Nobody wants their child to grow up being violent or aggressive to others or using guns in a violent way.
It's scary.
So, and we all know that our kids like walk by, they see the rolling pin, they see the spoon, they see the crystal, they see the flashlight, they see the pen, and it's a gun. It gets like this is all they need. You don't have to buy any guns for them. They don't have to, that's all they need is their fingers. And so we're not here to tell you guys about what you should or should not do about gunplay and the rules that you should have in your family about do buy them pretend guns, do not. That's for you parents to sort of decide and work out. But we have found that when you get some of your feelings out of the way about it, that you're able to think more clearly about what you want to do. And so I thought I would just give you a little example of how you can do what can I do when I'm faced with my child who's just pretended to shoot me with a gun? So, Michelle, would you be willing to give me a little shoot?
Are you ready?
Yes.
Pew, pew, pew.
Oh my gosh. Did you find the love gun? Oh, did you know? You must have known that the love gun just makes me fall in love with whoever shoots me with it. Come here, you. And I will go chasing after my child, chasing them around the house and behind the couch and into their rooms, and they'll keep shooting, and I'm sure giggling will usually ensue. And I just keep up the love. Can you shoot me again? Please, 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 because it just makes me fall deeper and deeper in love. Oh my gosh, my love meter just went way up even higher. And I'll just go on and gush all over them and smooch them and give them nuzzles in their belly. And what I've done is like, I'm not encouraging violence. I'm encouraging connection.
Love.
That's what I'm going for here. So,
so
another thing that I would do with gunplay, if you want to shoot me again.
I do.
So good at it. Oh, you got me with some jelly. Oh, boy. What else have you got in that gun of yours?
Peanut butter.
Oh, peanut butter. I'm going to try to catch some of that. Where's the next peanut butter shoot? Come on. Where's it coming? So, I can get some on me, and then I might try to spread it on them. And However, when we do play listening, what we're doing is paying attention to what makes them laugh and going and trying to get underneath the tension and the distress to where we can break it up.
Yeah, exactly. That's so lovely.
I know the parents out there can come up with more and more creative ideas if they get some listening time themselves about their feelings about.
Yeah, and their feelings about aggression in general, because it's hard to see our kids be aggressive and not take it personally.
Yeah.
Especially when it's directed at us, which my kids like to direct their aggression towards me. My littlest one, her favorite thing to do is to kick. And so when she gets really off track and disconnected, she wants to kick me. And I'm always so excited because I love to be kicked.
Favorite target.
Yeah, I try to be a moving target, like get out of the way. So sometimes, recently I've done this. She kicks me and I grab her little foot and I take her little foot and I put it up to my ear and I say, oh, I'm so sorry. No, she can't come to the phone right now. She's too busy. Oh, no, hold on. Let me text her. Yeah, so cute. Let me text her. I'm going to text her. Oh, no, she is busy right now. Oh, no, give me that foot. Give it to me. I'm going to, hello? I know I can't hear you. Oh, let me get the other foot. Oh, I have 2 telephones. Oh my gosh, I'm drowning in all this communication. I can't take it anymore. And so eventually she starts laughing and she thinks it's funny. And then she's trying to tickle me with her feet. And then we're kind of, on her bed and rolling around, and it's become this connection. And I've just kind of, we've thwarted the disconnect and we've gotten her back online and feeling good, and it's quite lovely, and it's a refreshing place.
The physical piece of that is so good, Michelle, that you're wrestling and engaging her whole body.
Yeah, and it feels good to do that as opposed to reprimand her. It just feels better for me, I think, if I can get past the idea that she's not being disrespectful, which sometimes I have a hard time with.
That's so key, that it feels better to you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It feels more connected, and I think parenting isn't worth it unless you feel connected. Mm-hmm. The other one, my kids like to pick at each other. They like to, you're so dumb. I can't believe. Pia said this morning, stop scraping the cereal bowl. You're scraping the cereal bowl too loud, and I was like, oh boy, everybody's disconnected. So I came over to Esme and I said, if you scrape that cereal bowl one more time like that, I'm going to kiss you everywhere. And Pia, if you tell her to scrape that cereal bowl one more time, I'm going to kiss you 5,000 times. And I came over to both of them and I kiss them. And then I kiss the other one. They'll be like, no, Mom, stop. No, Mom, stop. And I won't stop. And I just come in and I keep going at it until I can win them over and until I can unknot the cereal bowl scraping in the morning to where the cereal bowl scraping doesn't have to be such a big deal. And when I'm thinking clearly and when I'm connected to myself and I can say to myself, I can come with love and play instead of reprimand. When I can do that internally, I think I have an easier time.
Man, I just kind of like in the world, including our world. Can I come to this conflict with love and connection instead? Like, what kind of better shape would we be in?
Yeah, we wouldn't have war.
Really? Really?
No war. Yeah.
I think that's.
Is that it?
A good amount.
I think we've done well. Does anybody have questions out there? I know we've had some great comments, and thank you so much for connecting with us. And I'm glad that this could be helpful to people. And if you have questions, please, you can submit them and maybe we can even answer them later. But I'm so glad everybody joined us, and that was really great. I do want to plug the Hand in Hand podcast. Yep. And if you would like more information, the podcast I think happens weekly, and you can find it. How do you remind yourself not to reprimand? How do you remind yourself? I think that's a good question. I think I do a lot of self-talk. I say to myself, I have mantras I say to myself, like, everything's okay. I can come with love. I can come with kindness. I take deep breaths. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I give myself a timeout if I need to. I just say, okay, I'm going to be right back in 1 second. And I walk away. I try to gather myself and come back. And then I try to, you know, come with my love and kindness. If I give myself a little break, sometimes I can do that. What do you do, Kirsten?
Great. Well, I was thinking about in that moment, sometimes when I can feel myself being heated and I don't have a moment to step away, sometimes I just have to almost give myself away to release the tension without having it come out as tension. So I might sing my thoughts in opera. Like I might say, oh my gosh, are we doing this? It takes for me to start laughing, which really doesn't take more than 2 or 3 times.
I like that.
It just is like, it's enough levity. If I'm finding myself getting tense every time, that means I need to do more than just put the Band-Aids on. That means I need to get some support for myself or get better rest or go for a walk or talk to somebody.
Yeah.
But, those are a couple of good.
Asked a question too. Can you do it with really young kids? And I actually think it works the best with really young kids because you can almost do anything and they think you're funny. Yes. When you get older, you have to really be on top of your game to like think of the good stuff. But with the little kids, you can just be like, you know, you can just put like something on your head and they think it's so funny and let it drop, or kind of be the buffoon and they think you're so funny. You're tripping all over yourself or whatever it is. But yeah, you can definitely use it with really young.
And even going in and scooping up their little hand and saying, oh, my little hitting hand, how did that happen? I don't even know. Looks like this little hand needs some kissing.
Yeah.
Oh, what is happening, my little hand? Why on earth would you want to hit your sister? Here. Oh, you need some love. You know, just, and a 2-year-old thinks that's just the greatest thing in the world.
Right. So great. So we talked about the podcast, and I want to also say you can find me at peaceandparentingla.com. And I didn't say I'm in LA, but I am in LA. And I'm doing a book group on Dan Siegel's new book, No Drama Discipline, and it's all online. So if you want to sign up for that, you can find the discussion group on my website. And come. And I'm going to teach some tools in the midst of all of this. I'll teach some hand-in-hand tools as we read it, some connective ways to kind of bring you along. And Kirsten has some things she wants to talk about too.
Yeah, so if you're in Austin, I'm doing a in-person, actually I'm doing 2 of the same classes, November 28th and November 30th. It's going to be understanding and nurturing boys. And we're going to be talking about being able to kind of understand the landscape that our boys are being raised in, sort of that house boy code, and how we can use connection to stay connected to them and help them be able to think better and reduce aggression and reduce meltdowns. So that's on the Hand in Hand website. It's also on my website, which is handinhandworkshops.com. Understanding and Nurturing Boys. And I believe there's a link for it shows up on the Hand in Hand website.
Great. This was so awesome. Thank you guys so much for connecting with us. Thank you, Kirsten, for connecting with me.
Oh, yes. It's been really nice to do this with you. I loved all the comments we were getting.
Yeah,
great. Thanks for the help. Keep it up out there, parents. And
you're not alone.
You're not alone. Michelle and I could have come up with 73 examples of places where we've experienced aggression in our families, and Hand in Hand has really been able to give us a hand, both of us, with that in many ways. So.
Changed our worlds.
Yep.
All right.
Thanks,
okay,
guys.
goodbye, everyone. Thank you.
Happy weekend.